Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. This is just my thoughts with Rob Markman. On Friday, Cardi B released her new song, Imaginary Playerz, with a Z. She released the song and the video. It, of course, pays homage to Jay-Z's original 1997 track, Imaginary Player, which sampled Renee and Angela's, I think it was 1981, Imaginary Playmates, all right? So that's kind of the DNA of the track. I did a video on the Cardi record on Friday, so y'all can go check that out. And today I wanted to talk about the original Jay-Z record, which actually entered the top 40 of the iTunes hip-hop/rap songs chart. I just thought that was cool that the interest in this Cardi record led people to go kind of seek out the Jay-Z record where she was inspired to do it from. So today I want to talk about the original Jay record and how it led to this battle between Jay-Z and Mace, this rap battle between Jay-Z and Mace. I know a lot of you may know this story, Jay-Z versus Mace, but many don't. You know, I got a monthly music club, a subscription that I do. Shout out to all the monthly music club members. And, you know, we have on Discord, but every Sunday we do like a video call, just a private thing for just us where we talk about a new album every week. And then, we kind of just talk about whatever, like hip hop. And about 2 weeks ago, I started breaking down the Jay-Z versus Mace thing, just kind of like not playing, just offhandedly. And a lot of the members, a lot of the folks on the call didn't even know that this happened. And I thought that was cool. It's not to shame anybody. We all come in at hip hop at different points. And this wasn't like the biggest battle. It wasn't like Jay-Z versus Nas. It wasn't like this widely known thing. So much of it was subliminal. So we're going to go through that today, all right? So I need y'all, first of all, to subscribe to the channel. First of all, subscribe to the channel, like the video, please share, please comment. You know, I talk back and we're going to get into it. So the original Jay-Z record came out in 1997. That was a part of Ho's Volume 1 album. The music video came out in 1998 as a part of the Streets is Watching film, which I got right here on VHS. I showed it off last time. This was a bunch of music videos kind of strung together in a film format. And, there was acting. It told a story. And so you get a little bit of story of video, a little bit of story of video, a little bit of story of video. So this is Streets is Watching. This was hot in the streets back in the day. So at the time, right, Jay was still a rising rapper. Reasonable Doubt was an independent album, which did go gold. So it caught the attention of Def Jam, who then signed Jay-Z and Roc-A-Fella Records to a joint venture to release albums starting with Volume 1. So In My Lifetime, Volume 1 is the first major label Jay-Z release. Now, Notorious B.I.G. absolutely had the crown in New York, and to me was the best rapper in rap, period, at that time. That's just my opinion. But in 1997, Big had passed. And so it left kind of a void, a sadness and a void in New York City, but in hip hop and as a whole, but in New York for sure. And so Jay was vying for that crown that Big had. If you listen to a song, The City Is Mine, he talks about it. So we go to Diddy and Bad Boy, where Big was signed, right? Even though Big was murdered tragically, Diddy kept on. Dropped No Way Out. Diddy became the biggest artist on the label. Bad Boy was still absolutely running shit musically, which is kind of amazing. Even without Big, Bad Boy was still running shit. Bad Boy had the formula, and Mace was next up. So he was heating up all year in 1997, doing records with Puff. He was on More Money, More Problems, which was on the Big album. He was on the 112 Only You remix. He was on mixtapes with freestyles. And then, he had hit records leading up to the release of his own album, Harlem World, which came out in 97, same year as Volume 1. I'm just painting the picture for y'all. So Mace has his lead single for his album, Feel So Good, bona fide hit. Shiny suit in the video, dance record, big in the clubs, big on the charts, big on radio. And Jay was experiencing success for sure, but Mace had the light. And honestly, Mace wasn't regarded as a great rapper at this time. Truth is, Mace was absolutely a great rapper. He was an amazing rapper. And his pre-Bad Boy catalog with Children of the Corn, this Big L, Cam, McGruff, Bloodshed, like all of his mixtape stuff, it earned him his rep. He used to go by Murder Mace. He was more of a street rapper, but to achieve success, Mace softened his image and his subject matter. He put on the shiny suit. He danced. He played more of a pop lane. He even had a line, I was murder, P. Diddy made me pretty. Jay, on the other hand, was heavily respected, heavily respected, but didn't have the same light that Mase had. And they battled. They collided on two records, specifically 112's R&B record "Love Me," where Mase had a verse, and then Jay-Z's "Ride or Die" from his Volume 2 album in 1998. But on Imaginary Playerz, it's kind of where it all starts. Jay is taking shots on the record at unnamed rappers. And, you know, a lot of the record and subject matter of the record is just like, yo, I'm this and you guys aren't. I'm this and you other rappers are faking it so you make it. I have this, but y'all kind of have the fake version of this. And that was the premise of Jay-Z's Imaginary Playerz. Now, the thing about Jay is, though he didn't have the light, the fame, maybe the pop position that Mase had at the time, Jay absolutely had money. So and a high luxury level of taste, right? So is Jay pointing out the differences, but he starts to get at Mase on this record. Again, it's very subliminal. Not everybody catches it in real time. These are things that we learned and found out later through the years when people start talking about it. But the first time you heard this record, unless you were in their circles, you didn't know this was about Mase. So on verse 2, Jay goes off, and now you got these young cats acting like they slung caps, all in they dumb raps, talking about how they fun stack. When I see them in the street, I don't see none of that. Damn, Playboy, where the fuck is the Hummer at? Where's all the ice with all the platinum under that? Those ain't Rolex diamonds. The fuck you done to that? So during the episode of $1 Million Worth of Game back in 2022, Mase confirmed that the Rolex line was about him. You know, by this time, hip hop has knows that this was a Mase diss, but Mase actually talks about the very specific lines. The way Mase tells the story is that he went to Jacob the jeweler and asked him to bust down a watch for him, a Rolex. You know, he asked Jacob to lace the entire watch in diamonds, which really wasn't like a thing then. Like not just the bezel, not just the face, but the band, the entire thing, just a diamond watch. And they were real diamonds, but they just weren't Rolex factory diamonds. So when Jay says, where's all the ice with all the platinum under that? Those ain't Rolex diamonds. What the fuck you done to that? Again, one, Jay was known for rocking platinum. Jay popularized platinum jewelry in hip hop. Absolutely. And then again, his high taste level for luxury, those ain't Rolex diamonds. What the fuck you done to that? Like, man, you don't ruin a Rolex. You don't trick out a Rolex. You don't pimp my ride. Pimp my ride wasn't out then, but you don't do a pimp my ride to a Rolex. Like, the Rolex is luxurious enough. You want the factory diamonds. You want the original craftsmanship of the Rolex. Those ain't Rolex diamonds. The fuck you done to that? Like that was looked down upon. So boom, fast forward to the next year, 1998. 112. This was Mase's label mates on Bad Boy. They dropped their second album, Room 112, and their lead single, Love Me, featured Mase. It's an R&B record, and Mase has a verse, you know, in the middle of the record. By this time, Mase has so many hits under his belt. Harlem World, his debut album, is a huge hit. I think it's multi-times platinum at this point. Jay-Z's Volume 1 would eventually go platinum, but Mase was just more successful at the time and out the gate. And in 1998, he's just talking this shit on this soft-ass R&B record. A song, by the way, I love the record. I'm a big 112 fan. I love the record. But it was just a funny place to choose violence. But at the same time, it was such a Mase thing to do. We're going to get into Mase verse. He starts off, yo, you never want a problem like we want it. When Harlem World double up, we put G's on it. I'm pushing new 700 AMGs on it. And if you can't see my ice, that means my sleeves on it. Direct response to Jay. Jay says, where's all the ice with all the platinum under that? Mase says, if you can't see the ice, that means my sleeves on it. Direct response. So again, this is when, like, I think the streets start to put it together, but Jay catches that. Surely, like, his ear, he's an MC, he catches. But it gets worse. It gets, like, deeper. You know, I dress as I'm supposed to. Stretch Lex with a chauffeur, never sober. Red Testarossa. Cherry Rover, baguettes in my Jehovah. Me and Puff at the Grammy sitting next to Oprah. So he's just flaunting his success, right? Like, you know, again, Mase is super successful. He's living that life. He's just flaunting it. Then the next line. All we hear is platinum that, platinum this, platinum whips. Nobody got no platinum hits. Again, Jay was known for talking about platinum jewelry. And, you know, he hadn't gone platinum with his own records yet. As a writer, yes. As Jay-Z, because Jay used to write for others. So as a writer, Jay had success. But as the Jay-Z solo artist, not yet. That hadn't come yet. Jay had the gold album, but no platinum. So that's a direct shot. Again, like, even if the world don't get it, Jay hears it. Mase continues on. Cats know with me, platinum always wrap my wrist. I come to awards, quadruple platinum chicks. Little ones like 25 what cats get smacked with. Big ones like 45s what cats get clapped with. I react sick whenever my dough ain't accurate. Harlem World, Junior Mafia, yeah, and that's it. So he goes on, but it gets a little grimy, a little bit of gun talk. Big ones like 45, cats get clapped with. A little bit of gun talk in there. And I react sick whenever my dough ain't accurate. Harlem World, Junior Mafia, yeah, and that's it. He's basically saying that's my crew. My crew is Harlem and Biggs, Junior Mafia, that's it. We ain't fucking with nobody else in rap. Jay did a national interview with Funkmaster Flex on Hot 97 in 2005 where he talked about it. And he said that line hurt, like jokingly, like he wasn't like emotional hurt about it. I'm going to see if I put this snippet up and we don't get flagged for monetization. All right, but check this out.
And he said on his records, we was ushering in the whole platinum phase at that time. We was heavy, everything was platinum. We had the platinum watches and all that. And he went for the famous lines, platinum this, platinum that. Everybody talking platinum this. Nobody got no platinum hits. Record. And yeah, he goes, nobody got no platinum hits. And I had the Gold Boy at the time. Mm-hmm. I ain't like that.
Okay. So then,
I think he was triple. He was on his way to triple. I had the Gold Boy. He went in heavy on me. I was like, all right.
So there, you heard it. We was able to get the audio in a little bit. Jay had the gold record, Reasonable Doubt. Mase was on his way to triple platinum with Harlem World. And Jay, when Mase said, "Hey, nobody got no platinum hits," Jay heard that. He caught that. Oh, shit, okay. Like, he got me. So here comes Jay-Z's second major label album, his third one overall. And it's actually still his highest selling. I think it's at 5 mil right now. This is Hard Knock Life Volume 2. So this is 1998 now. So this is in response to Mace's rap on 112's Love Me. The track is called Ride or Die. So first of all, the record was produced by Stevie J. Stevie J was one of Bad Boy's main producers, part of Puff's Hitmen. He did More Money, More Problems. All right, so Biggs, More Money, More Problems will feature Puff and Mase. Huge record. Like, Stevie J is the man, especially over there at Bad Boy. And he's so closely associated with Puff and Bad Boy. He's their in-house producer. He's like, Just Blaze hadn't emerged yet. Kanye hadn't emerged yet. But he's like their Just Blaze or their Kanye West, Stevie J, over at Bad Boy. So Jay went to Bad Boy's main producer to produce the Mase diss record. It's crazy, man. It's cold. And then at the beginning of the record, it gets even worse because at the beginning of the record, Stevie J ad-libs. He's the first voice that you hear. He says, "I'm rolling with Roc-A-Fella, man. Because they got money, man." First thing you hear on the record is the Bad Boy producer saying he chooses Roc-A-Fella. I don't know what the fallout was. I don't know when Puff heard that, when Mase heard that. I mean, I know they let Stevie J have it, but Jay was violating off the top already. So first verse, Jay sets it up, right? The first couple of bars are just the setup. But he's like, "Hey, yo, fuck y'all. I crush y'all, rush y'all. With the 4 drawn and I touch y'all, plus y'all. Little motherfuckers ain't ready for war. I seen your team in the crisis before. Thought I forgot." He's just setting it up right now. The same rules apply. Don't try to switch up your style. This is pumpkin pie, and that's plain as I. Much better than you, cat. Shocked when I got the news that this ready for war. Well, where that fool at? It's just a setup. But remember, I said Mase wasn't regarded at the time as somebody like dope lyrically. He was, and he had a history, but he switched it up. He got more pop. So when Jay says, "Much better than you, cat," shocked when I got the news that, like, Jay was way more regarded. Jay was way more equipped. And Jay was just better than Mase no matter what. But the perception of Mase was that he couldn't rap. And Mase did have a rapping background. But much better than you, cat. Shocked when I got the news that. Nigga ready for war. Where that fool at? Now he said, so that's just the setup. So then he comes in. I bruise, whack, rap, and severely punish them. Especially those that getting fucked for their publishing. Always got to be the weakest out the crew. I probably made more money off your album than you. So by now, 2025, we all know Diddy was doing unfair deals with his artists. We heard enough of his artists speak about it at the time, where Diddy would sign them to the record deal and get their publishing for cheap early before a lot of artists knew what the publishing was worth, so they would just sell it. It was always said he bought Big's publishing for really cheap at first. We later found out around 1999, maybe 2000, that the Locks were upset about their publishing and how Diddy kind of trapped their publishing. At this point, though, in 1998, it's not a huge topic. The general public doesn't really know what it means. The industry definitely does. Jay has knowledge of how Puff does his deals. Plus, Jay started as independent, so Jay, even back then, billionaire status now, but has a strong business acumen. Even then, Jay knows the business. Plus, Jay is a writer. We'll get into that later, but Jay writes for other artists, so he knows the importance of publishing. So when he says, I bruise, whack, rap, and severely punish them, especially those that are getting fucked for their publishing. Again, it's not something maybe that the general public is aware of, but Mace knows. By this time, Mace is starting to figure out his deal ain't what it's supposed to be. And it's why he eventually ended up leaving Bad Boy. I'll probably make more money off your album than you. Again, Jay was on Mace's Harlem World on the debut album. He featured on a song called Cheat on You with Lil C's and Mace and 112. I'm pretty sure, without me having the particulars, the way it would normally go, and I'm positive it went this way. I'd be shocked if it didn't go this way. Jay got paid for that verse up front. He got like a upfront fee. I don't know what it was, but $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $70,000, $100,000. I don't know what the number was, but got paid an upfront fee for his verse on that record. Then plus he gets his publishing share of that record. So he's just basically saying, yo, your deal is so bad. My one feature verse on your album got me paid more than you off of that album. Mathematically, is it true? Did it really work out like that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, did Mace ever recoup? What was Mace advanced? We don't know. But it's slick to say. And again, Mace knows. Around this time, I'm pretty sure Mace is starting to get the feeling that his deal ain't right. The deal that he signed with Puff don't add up. So it's one of those things, even if the general public don't get it, and it's probably not even meant for the general public to get it, but you get it, Mace. so he's shooting at him. It gets worse. You see the respect every time I come through. Check your own videos. You always be number 2. The line is crazy. If you watch this channel a lot, you always hear me say that I love lines that you can see, that you can visualize right off the top. And this is when the general public starts to get it. This is still very subliminal, but this is when you can start putting 2 and 2 together. Oh shit, is he talking about, this is in reference to Puff and Mace's Can't Nobody Hold Me Down video. Technically, the record was billed as Puff Daddy featuring Mace, but it's it's like a Watch the Throne type of situation. And may have also started out as Mace's record, and then Puff just kind of took it for his album. But I could be wrong there. But in reference to Puff and Mace's Can't Nobody Hold Me Down video, I'm going to play it now. You see in the video, Puff is wearing the number 1 jersey. Mace is wearing the number 2 jersey. Check your own videos. You'll always be number 2. That's slick. That line is fucking cold. That's slick. That's when you start to see it. That's when the light bulb, that's when as a listener you're going off like, yo, who is he talking about? Wait, hold on, what? That's slick. And then also you see the respect every time I come through. Jay wasn't treated like a regular artist. Jay had Puff's respect at that time. They toured on the Puff Daddy and the Family tour. Jay famously left the tour after a couple. He had the opening slot and he left the tour. But again, Jay wasn't just seen as a rapper, and he definitely wasn't like a rapper that you could sign to a bad deal or take advantage of. You had to do real business with him. Then on the actual rap side, on the bar side, he was respected. He was the guy that you called in to write for your artist. And he's the guy that was also killing the mixtapes and people knew was a lyricist. So you see the respect every time I come through. It was a respect that maybe Mace didn't have, because remember, Mace switched up. Went from real underground to pop. See the respect every time I come through. Check your own videos. You always be number 2. Slick. And he says, it's talking real greasy on them R&B records. Well, I'm platinum a million times. Nigga, check the credits. S. Carter, ghostwriter. For the right price, I can even make your shit tighter. Direct response to the 112 record. Direct response to the 112 record. It's talking real greasy on them R&B records. Mace's verse on Love Me. Well, I'm platinum a million times. Check the credits. Platinum that, platinum this. Nobody got no platinum hits. No, I'm platinum a million times. Check the credits. S. Carter, ghostwriter. For the right price, I can even make your shit tighter. So at the time, again, Jay couldn't really come back with his like own solo platinum success because he didn't have it yet. Mace had surpassed him in that regard. So Jay kind of switches it and leans in on being a ghostwriter. And this is the early days of fans hearing about ghostwriters. We had definitely heard about writers. I'm thinking about like Ice Cube writing for Eazy-E. Like we had definitely heard about it by that time. I don't know if we've heard the term ghostwriter before this. And we could have. When I say I don't know, I'm truly saying I don't know. So if anybody knows who was the first person to use the term ghostwriter, let me know. And I'm not necessarily saying Jay was the first. But what I'm saying is this is early. And maybe it was an industry term, but in terms of fans, the way we talk about it and run with the term ghostwriter, we weren't used to hearing this term thrown around like that. But, so Jay, I'm a writer. I'm platinum. It's not my record, but check the credits. I'm platinum a million times. Want to shout out Mad Skills as well. Mad Skills, he would make a song called Ghostwriter where he sampled Jay. Dope record where he talked about the different people in the industry that he wrote for. Go look that up. He actually claimed on the record, he performed the record, and because if you listen to the recorded version, he bleeps the names out. So you never know who he's talking about. But he performed it and actually said the names during a performance. This is out there on YouTube. And on his record, he actually claimed at one point that he wrote for Mace, which is just like a funny aside. But Jay is saying, yeah, I'm platinum a million times. Check the credits. I wrote his for your favorite. At the time, Jay had written for Foxy Brown, had written for Lil' Kim. He wrote a rap for Bugs Bunny on the Space Jam soundtrack. If you go back to the original Space Jam soundtrack, there's a Bugs Bunny rap on there. Jay wrote that. So then he ends off with I roast is like yeah, smoke is like yeah, take your little jewels and put the toast in is like yeah. You know what the fuck we doing, why we done it, how I bring it to who probably want it. Keep playing, you gonna find me in your lobby blunted, and I don't even smoke. It ain't no joke. So, just threatening, just, bravado. Then he goes, this cat fighting with Jigga, kicking sneak shit, making little taste, but keeping it secret. Cause I kick that deep shit, that divide your peep shit, that I don't know if you fucking with Jigga spitting that weak shit. So the word was that Mace had the tape circulating around Harlem, dissing Jay, but the tape never came out. And now, if you remember this time, Jay is from Brooklyn. Heavy running with Dame Dash. This is the start of Roc-A-Fella. So him and Dame are locked in tight. And Biggs, they're locked in tight. Both of them are from Harlem, just a couple of blocks over from where Mace is from. So their crews are kind of like intertwined. So, it comes back that Mace has this tape that's going around Harlem. And, Jay caught wind of it, making a little taste but keeping it secret. And, it's dividing your hood. Because I kicked that deep shit, that divide your peep shit, that I don't know if you fucking with Jigga spitting that weak shit. So why didn't the tape come out? Jay is a legend. Like, his people told him, nah, this shit not gonna cut it. I don't know. I never heard the tape. But, man, dope verse, fire verse. So back, and then the rest of the song is the same energy, but not anything as kind of directed at Mace. It's kind of like broader, shooting at other rappers in the game, it feels like. But back when I was at MTV, I was at MTV between 2011 and 2015. We used to do a show called Rap Fix Live. Sway was the host. I helped produce it. I helped gather the questions, do some research for interviews, things like that. And maybe in like 2012 or 2013, we had Mace on the show. And Sway asked him about how the beef started. Now, according to Mace's recollection, and I'm using my choice of words carefully, I wasn't there. So according to Mace's recollection, it was over a girl named Ariane. She was dating somebody in the Roc-A-Fella crew, as the story goes. And then she had a thing with Mace, and the rap tension just started to build. The competitive tension started to build, this little back and forth. And there you have it. Actually, if you watch the Mace video with Total What You Want, there's a skit on it, and there's a skit on the album. It comes from a skit on the album where there's a girl named Ariane. And so it was a little nod to that, and that started the back and forth, or the competitive tension. But boom, there you have it. It's a little bit of hip hop history for you. I just wanted to do it. I thought it was fun with this new Cardi record coming out, and a renewed interest in Jay-Z's Imaginary Playerz, and everybody loves battles and beef, right? We love the competitive spirit of hip hop. I was like, man, let's shed some light on this, man. Talk about a little history. If you knew about this battle, let me know. Talk about what your memories are of it. If I happen to put you on to something, let me know, man. Let's talk about it. And to the next one, all right? Peace.